Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look today. I am the chairman of the board of the Newark Museum of Art. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's a great day in Newark. On a day and at a time when so many things are going so wrong across the country and around the world, Newark is showing that we have it together. There are a lot of people out there trying to tear things down and tear people down, but here in Newark and at the Newark Museum of Art, we are doubling down on building people up. That's because of who Newark is and who you are, and so I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. We're here to celebrate the beginning of a transformative project, not only for the museum, but for Newark. As a pivotal location in Newark's Arts and Culture District, the new building we're putting up will provide not only a new gallery for the museum, but will extend an open arm to the people of the city and to all who visit here and welcome them to the museum itself and to its campus, an important piece of which has been hidden behind a parking lot and a wall for a long time. But it will also be a welcome home for the residents who live in the apartments. As I said, it's a great day in Newark. We are blessed in this city to have an incredible set of elected officials that the words that come to mind when I think of our elected officials are wise, courageous, and dare I say, even righteous. And I mean righteous, not self-righteous. People committed to doing the right thing by the people. And in Washington today, I almost don't need to say it, people committed to doing the right thing are in way too short supply. But that is not the problem we have here in Newark. A few months ago, the New Yorker magazine referred to our first speaker and his approach as reasonable radicalism. Leave it to the editors of the New Yorker to think that focusing on equitable economic development is radical, that investing in people of a city so you can reduce crime is radical, that reimagining public safety in ways that partner police with community groups and community members to help citizens feel safe is radical, that assuring housing development always includes affordable options is radical, and that assuring that when we tell the history of America, we tell the truth is radical. He is a leader with the heart of an artist, and all of that is why I can't imagine a better person to lead this city, and why Newark has America's greatest mayor and most righteous mayor. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our mayor, Raz J. Barasa.
That was a lot of pressure. And he started singing. You know, people be afraid to follow me. I'm afraid to follow this guy. It's amazing. So I just want to first thank our partners here, Senator Ruiz, Congresswoman, who's here with us as well, Councilman McGyver, Council President Crump, Councilman of the South Ward, Pat Council here as well. Want to thank L&M, my good friend Sari and his family, being a part of this as well. All of you who know that the Newark Museum is the greatest museum in the state of New Jersey. I see Deputy Mayor Allison Ladd over there. I just want to thank her and her team for being engaged in this project. But more importantly, we want to thank Linda Harrison. I welcome you all to the Arts and Education District, something we've been building out since Linda put it on our minds. at the Newark Alliance meeting. Newark Alliance is a great organization of a bunch of businesses and community folks in our city, thanks to the late, great Al Copy, who was very helpful to me and obviously helpful to the city. And Linda, in that meeting, said we need to have an arts and education district, knowing that art creates economic growth and development. That art is not just a place to look at or just a beautiful song to listen to, but it's also an opportunity to advance people's lives, to lift up people's quality of life, their standard of living. It's an opportunity to infuse resources in the economy for people in communities, to bring visitors to your city, to uplift it, to upgrade it, to make it exciting, to shine a bright light on the incredible people and neighborhoods and communities that are here. She knew that, and so I'm super excited that on the other side, you see New Jersey Foreign Arts Center and their investment going up there. You get to come down the street and see at the Newark Museum, they're doing equal kind of development right next to the Newark Museum as well. So Newark is on and popping right now. I'm excited about the housing, the affordable housing, the more theater and art space that'll be there as well. All of the opportunity that it'll add to Washington Street and to Harriet Tubman Square. See, I said both of those things. And to Harriet Tubman Square as well. I didn't want to, not include people. So we all can converge in this area and have an incredible time, and also see the beauty of the history and the future of an incredible, incredible city, a city of immigrants, by the way, who have come from all over the world to take part in the democracy that was promised to the whole world, and to a whole group of people that fled here from the South, fleeing segregation and Jim Crow and dogs on their heels, and lack of opportunity to come to this port city to make it more beautiful, more diverse, more exciting. And today, that's what we're doing once again. Lastly, I used to go to New York a lot with my dad. He would take us to New York because he had these plays he was doing all the time. A lot of them off Broadway. And we would go and hang out in New York for a long period of time. And I always wondered why people always go to New York City. And I became an adult and figured out that people are going there because they love art, because they want to see a good play. They want to go to a jazz club. Right? They want good, diverse food that they could be a part of. They want to go to an incredible museum. They want to enjoy a dance and theater in Lincoln Square and all these other kind of things they want to enjoy in New York City. And that we can do that in Newark. Because when I talked about it, he also told me, he said, hey, when they used to go to New York to those big events, when they go to Radio City Music Hall, they used to make their way back to Newark and hang out and hear the greats play good music in jazz clubs in the city of Newark. They would come here and listen to Willie Lion Smith and Sarah Vaughan. And if they was good, they might hear Coltrane somewhere or somebody else on a piano, on a horn in one of these small clubs in Newark. Newark has always been a city of artists. And today, we recognize that. And because of the Newark Museum and what Linda Harrison is doing, we're taking it to an exponentially higher level. I just want to say thank you and thank you again, because my children will enjoy the Newark Museum in a different way than I got to enjoy it at their age. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor Baraka. Before we proceed with the program, I just want to acknowledge, as I said, we have a whole bunch of righteous leaders in this town. I want to acknowledge some who are here or are supposed to be here or may be here. I can't make everybody out, so let me just let you know that Essex County Executive Joey DiVincenzo, we acknowledge Joey. We also have a council, Essex County Commissioner Carlos Pomares, who I think is here. Carlos, there you go. We will hear from some of our other electeds, but I also want to mention State Senator Renee Burgess. And I also want to mention a representative of Commissioner Jacqueline Suarez, Jennifer Underwood. And not last, but certainly not least, two members of our own municipal council, Patrick Council and Louise Scott Roundtree. Thank you for your support and for being here. It was almost 100 years ago. Well, it was. Now I understand. It was over 100 years ago, 1924, that ground was broken on the museum's stately home designed by, this stately home, that was designed by architect Jarvis Hunt and remains today facing Harriet Tubman Square thanks to the incredible generosity of an individual named Louis Bamberger. Yes, we can clap for Louis Bamberger. We all owe a lot to him. It was such a milestone that the museum kept one of the shovels from that groundbreaking, which the staff is entrusting to me today. Now, I got nothing to dig, but I got a great shovel. It's old technology, and if it wasn't part of the museum's collection, I would put it to use again today. As a nonprofit organization, the museum could not exist without the generosity of individuals who have felt the impact of the museum so profoundly that they want to leave a legacy that can serve to inspire new generations to see the world in new ways. At the museum, we recognize that kind of generosity with membership in what we call the John Cotton Dana Society. It's my pleasure to introduce to you one such incredible member of the museum community who's committed to fostering that kind of multi-generational impact. Please join me in welcoming to the podium John Cotton Dana Society member, Victor Sloan.
Thank you. Thank you all for the honor of addressing you today. My father, Gilbert Sloan, grew up right here in Newark during the Depression, East Side High, class of 1945. His parents were immigrants with little education and fewer resources. One of my grandfather's jobs during the Depression was working in a restaurant where his only compensation was whatever leftover food he could gather to take home for his family. As a preteen, my father discovered the Junior Museum program here at the museum. This program exposed him to art, music, culture, and most importantly for him, science. During World War II, Dr. Melville Peters, who was the chief engineer of Tightflex Metal Hose across the street from my family's store, saw my father reading a physics book. Dr. Peters asked my father if he was interested in science. One thing led to another, and Dr. Peters facilitated my father's admission to his alma mater, Michigan Tech. Tuition was free for in-state and $200 a year for out-of-state students. My father's older brother paid half, and my father worked 3 jobs to pay the rest. Eventually, my father earned a PhD from the University of Michigan in chemistry and had a career as a chemist that spanned 6 decades. Our entire family owes an incredible debt to the museum, and especially its programs for young people, for offering my father experiences that opened doors not only for him and his career, but for the generations that have followed. My brother and I would not be where we are today if my father had not been a part of the Junior Museum. I was fortunate to attend the University of Chicago, where my father had done a postdoc as an undergraduate. After serving as a Peace Corps volunteer in Cameroon, I attended medical school and then had a long career in the pharmaceutical industry, while seeing patients as a volunteer at Rutgers, New Brunswick, from 2001 to 2024. I was incredibly honored to serve in President Biden's administration before retiring last October. My wife and I have 2 amazing daughters who will graduate this May, one with a bachelor's in international relations in Spanish, and one with a master's in global security. None of this would have been possible without the museum. My father died in 2023 at the age of 94. His last scientific publication was in 2022 at the age of 93. On behalf of my entire family, please know how grateful we are all of us, to the Newark Museum of Art for the legacy that lives on today in me, my brother, and our families. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Victor. I was saying earlier, we have righteous representation here in Newark. We have that reach extends to Trenton. And since 2007, our state senator has been a clarion voice in Trenton for our community on issues like equity in educational spaces, expanding access to early childhood education throughout the state, making sure New Jersey's children are well nourished in school, and making sure that the curriculum represents the true diversity of us all, an essential part of which is ensuring that we look at our past and present truthfully so that we can build a more just and prosperous future. She was the first Puerto Rican elected to the Senate and has earned such respect through her courage, wisdom, and determination that she has been elevated by her colleagues statewide to be the Senate Majority Leader, making her the highest-ranking Latina legislator in New Jersey state history. And she, too, has always been a great friend of and advocate for the museum, helping secure state funding to support New Jersey's largest museum. Please join me in welcoming our state senator, Teresa Ruiz.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Peter. I'm really impressed. I think it was that part. Oh, I was told not to touch the mics, and I did it. I give myself up. I don't follow directions well. That's why I'm the majority leader. To everyone here today in this phenomenal space that many of us call our second home, kind of aligned with what our mayor was sharing. Our parents saw the beauty in real time. When my dad picked Newark to move his family from Puerto Rico, he saw the beauty in real time. And as a young girl, I remember Bambergers, except I didn't take the escalator up. We went to the basement. You all know what I'm talking about. That's where the sales were. Now they call it, what is it, back door, whatever it is. It has a much cooler name. But Bamberges, for those who didn't speak English that well. But we've always known the love, the art, the passion, the discipline, the integrity, the stories of Newark, because it's the story of this country. You'll consistently hear how a moment in time changed someone's trajectory in life, built wealth, made someone change their opinion of something, showed inclusivity in ways. That's what this museum stands for consistently, especially when its doors have been wide open under the direction of Director Harrison. And I want to take a moment because when this woman came into Newark, I didn't know her, you didn't know her, we didn't know anything about her except that she came from the West Coast, and I was like, oh God, is this gonna be like a Snoop versus, Biggie kind of thing here, right? I'm dating myself. What Linda did for this space, and not alone, with many of the people in here, whether it was through partnership with the city, elevating funding, creating opportunities for grant, was that she really poured out into our houses, into the streets, in so many spaces where oftentimes our families and our communities feel disconnected from museum spaces. When she took the helm, she ensured that every Newarker felt that they could come into this space, be respected, see themselves in programming, and grow in these spaces whether you were 95 or 9 months old. And that today's announcement is the fruition of that vision. That in space and time, nothing can stay stagnant, but has to be dynamic. That when the federal government is looking to cut things all across the board at every given moment and erase all of us, quite frankly, in this room and what we've contributed, that this museum will stand to show that in this change of creating new development, it will create recurring revenue that will protect this institution and what it has done for generations before me and for my daughter's generations yet to come. And so a debt of gratitude to you for claiming Newark, for giving to Newark, for representing Newark, even though you came from the West Coast, and for understanding what a true gem this place has been. To my colleagues who are in different elected spaces, to the Congresswoman, when Ballantyne House opened, the two of us were in that parlor taking our photo because we knew that there were moments in time in history that she and I would not be able to stand there as women, let alone, never mind, as women of color. Both of us in elected capacities showing leadership. That in that conflation right there, it was America in its true form. Two girls from Newark showing the rest of the world of what can happen when you have an equation and a network that supports you. Our art district, our communities, our wards, our blocks, our institutions of higher learning do precisely that, but no one can do it alone. And let me tell you why voting matters, and everyone's gonna say, here she is, I'm not on the ballot this year, so this is not for me. But because I am down in Trenton, when we are drafting bills like transformational project tax credits, that we're thinking about institutions like the museum. That before anyone was thinking about what could potentially happen here, the District 29 with Eliana Pintura-Marin and Shanique Spade, we were drafting policy to say, hey, transformative hub projects will work phenomenally in the downtown corridor because we have NJPAC, the museum, WBGO, Symphony Hall, Rutgers, NJIT, Essex County, Berkeley, the list goes on and on. And so when we're in rooms, we bring you all there. When we're at the table, we protect you when we're there. When people can't see the vision the way our forefathers saw it, we are sure to repeat it over and over again in times where our worth is tried and we have to show how much we are, even though we've been elected for close to 2 decades and I still have to prove myself. We guarantee that what we put on paper becomes a tangible solution for everyone today. And listen, I don't want to lose sight of it because affordability is an extraordinary thing. And this building is going to have units, but we still have to tackle more because affordability is still a nomenclature that so many individuals who are still at the brink of leaving check to check that they cannot manage to live in one of these beautiful spaces here in downtown. Collectively, I know that we'll find solutions to those endeavors, but it will not keep us from progressing. It will not keep us from the tropes and stereotypes that people like to the news break, right? I hate those news break days. Something happens and it's always Newark, Essex County. I'm like, y'all, that was Bergen, that's not us. That despite what people want to claim about who we are, how we are, and what they think this city is, that today we're showing them precisely who we are. We are filled with love, we are filled with greatness, and we are filled with the true American story. So congratulations to everyone here. And Peter, I gotta tell you, I don't often get floored, but you sang, and I was like, maybe that was his audition to become the chair of the committee. But thank you for considering me a partner. As many pennies as I can save to send them over here to make sure that this institution is protected for future generations, so that one day someone else can say, hey, I was in the Explorers program. And if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have become the first president of the United States. I will do everything I can to be sure that those programs still exist. Congratulations and thank you all.
So our righteousness reaches all the way to Washington. Our next speaker was the youngest woman ever elected to the Newark Municipal Council, where she proudly served for 6 years, serving as council president, and where she was a stalwart champion for the needs and aspirations of every resident of Newark's Central Ward. Now she brings that same fight to the halls of Congress. Boy, do we need it there. Hope she's got big boxing gloves. Where she is the first black woman to represent the 10th Congressional District. You can clap for that. And the youngest person ever to be elected to the House of Representatives from New Jersey. That too. Please join me in welcoming a great friend of the museum. We see her here all the time. And a great leader committed to doing the right thing for us and for our country in Washington, Representative LaMonica McIver.
pleasure to be here with y'all. Y'all just don't know. When I am in district for the week, it is refreshing because, as many have said at this podium, Washington, D.C. is like hell burning over right now. And it's such a pleasure to be here. 2 words. Linda Harrison has been a true beacon and a blessing to the city of Newark. Not just to this institution, but to the city of Newark. When I walked into council in 2018, we were transitioning out, looking for a leader of this institution, and along came Linda. And it has been such a refreshing sight and environment here in this museum. We have worked on so many initiatives together to bring our communities into this space that sometimes I shared with Linda when she first got here that I used to be a little girl just walking by this facility and wondering what's happening, what can we do in there, what's going on, other than the field trip that we finally got in school to here. And we talked about how do we bring our communities inside here? How do we make it welcoming to them? There's so many people in our communities that don't even know who live here in Newark that the museum is free to them to come here. Let me say that again, it's free. I like free. It's free to come here, and so we worked on so many partnerships, from a day at the museum with Councilwoman McGyver to so many diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and activities here in this great space. And I am just delighted to be here as we expand, as everyone has talked about at this podium, expanding this museum and creating this campus where folks can live and play and work and have a good time. There were many days I didn't know we would get here. I have to say that because I could write a book of us getting to this point, and I can contribute the 2 gray hairs I have right here to this project. But I'm excited to be here. There's no progress without struggle. Frederick Douglass said it, clean and clear for us. And so to struggle to get here, that's fine, because we're here, we're celebrating. It is a transformational project, not just for the city of Newark, but in the Arts and Education District, and here in the downtown, in the Central Ward, in the heart of the Central Ward. And so I could not be more delighted. I always say, just like the mayor says sometimes, I love groundbreakings, but I love ribbon cuttings more. And I can't wait to get back here. Hopefully the weather is warmer for us, and we cut the ribbon to this extraordinary project that is leading the way of how we imagine arts and culture in our communities, and specifically in urban communities. I want to once again thank Linda for your leadership, for how you have transformed this institution and how you fought through it all to get us to this place. To my good friend Serene Morris and the entire Stafford family who was here. I don't know if I should say Morris or Stafford. I don't know Morris. Okay. Oh. The husband said Morris. to the entire Morris family, the MCI Collective and LMXD. Let me get that right. LMXD. For everything that you all, contributed to getting here and just putting forward and pushing through some of all that we had to get through to get to this point. I want to thank our amazing Deputy Mayor, Allison Ladd, who championed this project with her own 2 bare hands and her feet some days to get this project to, and to my entire municipal council. Many days of working through this project, getting it through the council, it would not be possible. Yeah, I might have championed it, but without them, we were not able to get many of this passed, many of the things we had to see happen to be here this day celebrating. So to all of them who were here, the council president, the Mildred's baby boy, Larry Crum, to our South Ward councilman, Patrick Council, and of course, Councilwoman Louise Scott Roundtree, and also our West Ward councilman was here, Dupree Kelly, who had to step out, but definitely grateful to each and every one of them for making this possible. And it's so good to see all of you as we celebrate this transformative project today. So thank you all, and God bless each and every one of you.
Speaking of the council, at the risk of stating the obvious, our next speaker was born to be what he is today. And that, of course, is not to say that there are not other things in store for him in the years to come. He has been a civic, community, and professional leader across the sectors of Newark for decades, including being in the inaugural class of Leadership Newark, serving as a board member of Newark Symphony Hall, managing the Newark office of the law firm Cooper, Levinson, April, Needleman, and Wagenheim, and serving as legislative director for the City of Newark Department of Economic and Housing Development, first assistant corporate counsel, and general counsel and director of the development for the Newark Parking Authority. But being the son and former chief of staff of the late, truly great matriarch of Newark politics, Mildred Crump, it was no surprise when he answered the call to elected office, becoming councilman at large in 2021. I had the great privilege of knowing him as a thoughtful ex officio board member of the museum, and I have the great privilege of asking you to join me in welcoming to the podium Newark Municipal Council President Lawrence Crump.
I almost pulled up Teresa Louise. I remember I touched the mic. Yes, thank you for that introduction. You know, my wife would say I'm unstable with my jobs. I have so many of them. And let me first say thank you for not having this outside. Some of us were at a ribbon cutting yesterday and it was freezing. And so I appreciated being inside. That's the great vision that Linda has. Let me first acknowledge my council colleagues. I think it's always important. You know, we joke and say we got to count to 5 to get something done in the council. And it's important that I acknowledge, first of all, I got to acknowledge, she was my council president, our congresswoman, who, you know, I learned from her, watching her, and we talked about some things. And she didn't tell me how many boards I'd be on when I became council president, but I've learned and I enjoyed thoroughly. But also my council colleague, who was mentioned before, Southwood Councilman, Council, our at-large Councilwoman Louise Scott Browntree, and Councilman Dupree Kelly, who had to leave. I know it was mentioned before, but I think it's important as Council President I acknowledge them who were here. This is a great day. It truly is, because, and the Councilwoman said some things that I agree 100% with about the struggle to get here. It makes it all that much sweeter that we are here today because of the struggle that we had to do to get here, because of the conversation that we had to have to get here, because of the discussions that we had to have to get here, because of the votes that we had to have to get here. And there were some votes that were, you know, I'll say this, there were some trepidation and concern looking at some of the folks in the room, at the council meetings in the back of the room. And at the time, we were just like, just hold on, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. And you know, fortunately, we're here today. You know, it's funny that I wanted to be almost an art history major. I love art, I think it's wonderful. This place is wonderful. My favorite artist was Salvador Dali. I was a surrealist kind of person, and I enjoyed and so coming to the museum is always a pleasure to me. It's always something I love and enjoy doing. I bring my kids, you know, let me stop and thank Linda because of the programming that is here. You know, she's not concerned just about the 4 corners or the 4 walls that are here. She's concerned about the community. And that's extremely important. She had meetings with the council members and her staff to discuss, and the board, to discuss how can we do better for the community. Everybody doesn't do that. They're concerned about what's here and then what they can do. But Linda did that, and I truly appreciate that. And I truly appreciate all that she has done, her team has done, and the board has done. I love sitting on the board now because I get to hear all the wonderful things that are happening and all the wonderful things that will happen. And it's just an amazing experience, and it really, truly is. And I want to just congratulate also the team and everybody who've made this possible, from Linda and her team, and all the partners that were involved, the city partners, who who were mentioned, and I'm not going to repeat names. I've already given my council colleagues' names. I'm going to repeat everybody's name. You know who you are, and you've been mentioned, and I want to thank you for what you've done. Because you also had to stay the course, you know, and believe that this was going to get here. Because, you know, there were times it wasn't easy again, but we're here today. And I want to just say thank you for everyone who's been involved in this project. I got to thank our mayor, who is an artist and has the vision to create and spaces for artists to thrive. I wasn't an artist in my life. I didn't sing back in the day. As a matter of fact, Peter, I talked to my colleagues. I said, I might open a council meeting tonight with a song. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can carry a tune. But I just want to congratulate you. It's much needed. This is an area which has underutilized space, and now we're going to utilize it to create housing. And not just housing, but some affordable housing for folks that need it. You know, we talk about our residents who are here and have been here through the tough times. We need to make sure that there are places and spaces for them to live, to flourish, to raise their families, and to come to the museum. I love coming to the museum. I bring my kids all the time to the museum, to different programs, and I'm going to continue to do so when they're old, and I'm going to have to drag them at some point because they're about teenage years, and you know, teenagers don't like to go out with dad. I got to bribe them a little bit. But I just want to congratulate you once again. Say thank you for what you're doing and what you can continue to do. I want to say something, but I'm not sure if I should say it publicly, but I will just say thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda, for what you've done for our city, for what you've done for our community, and what you've done for art in our area. And with that, thank you very much.
Thanks, Larry. So you've gotten the impression that it takes a village, right, to build a building. And now I'd like to introduce you to the people who will actually do that. The development team behind Museum Parc. LMXD, the MCI Collective, M Squared, and Merchants Capital, all partners on this project, have a strong track record of delivering innovative projects that meet the needs of a community while supporting future growth. Together, their vision for the new museum space, housing, and retail on this site will make Museum Parc a vibrant beacon of Newark's arts and culture district and a catalyst of community interaction. Please join me in welcoming Managing Director at LMXD, Jake Pine.
Guys, that was just the appetizer. Peter Englot and the Temptations are coming back after this. Thank you for the kind words, Peter. I just want to start off by giving a big shout out to our mayor, Raz Baraka, and his incredible team. Allison, we definitely would not have been able to get through this without you, so thank you so much. To the municipal councilwoman Roundtree, council president Crump, I saw Councilman Kelly out here, and the prior council president, Congressman McIver. Thank you guys so much. I think I can speak for all of us when I say this was not easy. But man, was it worth it. The construction going on outside is cool, but this project is about more than that. It's about mixed income homes. It's about creating opportunity for the people of this community. Linda, over 5 years ago, we started this journey, and you have been the ideal partner. I'm so appreciative for you continuing to believe in us, but not just believing in us, but holding us accountable along the way. It's so great to be here, standing up, celebrating this incredible accomplishment with you and your team. I think it was 2019, we were in this building, and I was talking to you about speed to execution. Well, that didn't happen, but we did it. Our financing partners, you guys don't get enough love, but HMFA, Merchants Bank, Redstone, M Squared. These projects are incredibly challenging, and the team that we pulled together really made this all happen. So thank you guys so much. I want to recognize my team at LMXD and L&M Builders, just an incredibly talented group. My colleague Han, she put in a ton of hard work, and none of this would have happened without her. To our design professionals in Glaze Architecture and Engineering, KSS, just incredible work. This project is going to be absolutely beautiful. And last but not least, Suri Morris. Came in midstream, just picked up the ball, helped us put the pieces together, and get it over the finish line. You're a true partner, man. I appreciate everything you did for this project. And really to everybody else, it did take a village. So to everybody, I really appreciate your hard work, your dedication. And with that said, Suri, come on up, brother.
All right. So, as I was shopping to pick a nice outfit out for this great event, well, my wife was taking me to the store to pick a nice outfit. So, we go to Shore Hills Mall, go into a store, and we come across a salesman who just so happened to be an alumni from Arts High, right? And then we got to talking about, our oldest son, and, he's an artist, at heart, so whether we're gonna lead him to the traditional path of development, real estate and numbers, or are we going to lead him towards his true probably passion, which is the art space. And the worker there said something that was very important. He said, listen, Suri, no matter what we do in life, art is everywhere. It's in everything we see, it's in everything we think about, it's in everything we touch. So no matter what he does, art is going to always be a part, of his journey. But my journey here started when I was in fourth grade at military school, and I won an art contest about hunger. I had to draw a little picture about hunger and things like that, and I won. And the great part about it was that the event was held here at the Newark Museum. So like the Congresswoman said, this would be a place you used to walk by. At a young age, I was able to come in and just see the importance of this event. And I just thought about the pride I had, when I received my little award. And that was one of the more memorable times, of my childhood. The museum, as I've grown, both personally and professionally, has always been a part of my story. And a lot of people don't know, I know we're losing her, but she's left such a great impact on our community. Linda directly has supported the things that, my wife and I have done for the community, whether it's the drive-in movie theater during the pandemic, where sometimes people talk, other people cut checks. And I'm just so thankful that she could see the vision in what we were trying to do and be such a real person at a time when the city really needed things. Even my kids were fortunate enough to really enjoy the magic of this place. Because if you don't know, the Newark Museum has like thousands of things you can do here, right? So no matter the age group, my youngest son is 7. We had him here when he was 3 and 4 because they had like an intro to arts education for like toddlers and kids. We used to bring him here on Saturday mornings, right? We used to take both of our kids, sometimes my older sister here, on Saturdays around like 11 and 12. They used to do like a ton of arts and crafts, gingerbread houses and stuff. And for my oldest, they have a makerspace. All right, so this place here isn't, just a landmark. This place here is where artists and people like myself, people of the community, can truly call home. This project here would not have been here today. Like everybody said, it's a long road. Jake said that I came in midstream. I kind of equate myself to baseball terms. I was Mariano Rivera, close. Right? But, you know, we wouldn't be here today without the support of our Mayor, Raz Baraka, U.S. Congresswoman McGuire, and Allison Ladd, the Newark City Council, and honestly, most importantly, the Newark community, because we couldn't be here today without, you know, everybody here and everybody outside these walls. Like everybody said, this is a long journey. And I'll be honest, it was times where I wasn't sure, and my wife would be like, bro, it's gonna be fine, right? Right? And everybody I spoke to always said, we're gonna get there, we're gonna get there. It may be a little rough, but we will get there. But in closing, I just want to leave you all with this saying. Art is at its most powerful when we push boundaries, when we dare to color outside the lines, challenge normality, and imagine beyond what we think is possible. The museum's decision to reimagine its campus in such a bold and visionary way is proof of what we can accomplish when we remove the limits from our minds and allow creativity to lead. I just want to thank you all for being here today and to be a part of this great initiative and development. Thank you all. And I want to introduce Alicia Glenn from M School.
Wow, I have a worse job. I have to follow that. That was very profound and amazing. I just want to thank you all for even letting me speak, because I've only been doing this for about 2 years, working on this project. I founded M Squared because we wanted to do projects in cities that are emblematic of what makes cities great. Diverse, cool, great bones, remarkable industries, remarkable people, and we want to work in areas where the communities want us to work, not what other people think communities need. And that's not an easy way to do business, and this has been an incredibly hard labor of love with so many people. I'm not going to thank all the elected officials and all the folks who have really dedicated their life to this. It's embarrassing, right? You need me to tell you that like a hole in the head. But I will tell you one thing. About 2 years ago, when this project was going through yet another iteration of, oh my God, are we going to be able to get it done? I happened to walk into a place in New York City, and I was introduced to this amazing woman. And her name was Linda Harrison. And I said to myself, oh my God, I've heard your name before. This is crazy. Did I know you when I used to work in Newark years ago? And I talked to Allison about some deals here. And she said, I'm the director of the Museum of Newark. And I said, holy shit, we're looking at that deal. And I said, this deal is really complicated. And I sat with her for 15 minutes. And I realized that I had a real partner in crime. This was going to be incredibly hard. I've done a lot of hard deals in my life. But I saw you, and I said, you know what, we're going to figure this out. And so for 2 years, it's been an amazing, crazy journey. But at the end of the day, when you're fighting with the developer, or you're hanging out with Surrey and making sure it all comes together, and talking to the governor, and talking to all these people, at the end of the day, it's because of you, Linda. And it's because of you that people went through the incredibly challenging, tough, not exciting, sort of moving conversations that I've been listening to here. But for people who build buildings, it's our privilege to help you build this building and to make sure that people of Newark have not just great new housing and affordable housing for people who desperately need it, but even the people who aren't going to get lucky enough to live in this building are also going to have something that they call part of their life, and that's because of you and all of you here. So thank you for even letting us press the wire, which was a great day to actually fund the project. And we'll write the next check to get you back here for the ribbon cutting, okay? Promise. Thank you. And the other guy who did all the work and the money is our great partner at Merchants, Mike Manzano. Sorry, we didn't have a great one to show here for the end. Bring it home.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Mike Malazzo from Merchants Capital, and I'm excited to be here today at the groundbreaking of Newark Parc, which will provide new, affordable, mixed-income housing and retail from LMXD, MCI Collective, and Lender in the New York Museum. L&M and MCI have been pillars of quality, affordable workforce housing throughout New Jersey, and Merchants is honored to be a part of the New York Museum. Merchants provided both the financing for the construction loan as well as the permanent financing. I want to take a moment to thank Jake, Han, and their team for choosing Merchants and allowing us to collaborate with you on this innovative development. that continues LMXD's vision to revitalize the city of Newark by building state-of-the-art housing along the city's vibrant culture. This project will allow tenants the opportunity to live in quality housing steps from the museum. It has been deeply gratifying to work with the development team creating safe, new, and affordable housing for nearly 75 Newark residents. A special thank you is in order to Redstone, M Squared, and the City of Newark for all the efforts to get this deal closed. I'm looking forward to standing back here in a few years with you all at the ribbon cutting. Merchants looks forward to continuing to work alongside LMXD and those in the non-profit and private sector to bring solutions to our nation's housing crisis. Congratulations and thank you.
So this project, as you've heard, I think many people say, is about two things at rock bottom: inspiration and impact. And nobody can bring those things to a project better than an artist. So regardless of the medium they use, artists have the power to create magic mirrors that can show us both who we really are and show us new ways of being. To help us maximize the inspirational impact of Museum Parc, we knew that magnificent murals had to be a central element of the design. So we naturally wanted a New Jersey-based artist to show us how to do that. I'm thrilled to introduce to you an artist who says of her own work, "Through my creations, I aspire to ignite conversations, foster empathy, and inspire positive change. I firmly believe that art has the power to build bridges, mend wounds, and create a more inclusive and harmonious society." Wow, do we need that right now? Please join me in welcoming our muralist, Kelly Prevard.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you feeling? Well, you're looking beautiful. So again, my name is Kelly Prevard, and my art is centered around healing and the transformative power of storytelling. As an artist, one of my major goals is to create sacred spaces of healing in communities around the world. And this is one of the most beautiful communities that I've ever been in. So I'm originally from Atlantic City, but Newark holds a deeply special place in my heart. It is here where I was able to connect with like-minded individuals, where I was able to also expand my vision and also nurture my creative dreams. Newark is a really beautiful, beautiful, special place. So, my introduction to Newark happened about 5 years ago through a meaningful project called Magnitude and Bond, which I co-created with artists Lequa Nunayawar and Aruma Violet Collective. This mural is a beautiful project that I did that celebrates the contributions that Black women have given to this community. I'm sorry, let me just slow down and come together. You know, what I have to say is that I prepared a speech and I'm overwhelmed by the amount of beauty and magnificence that's been a part of this stage. And I truly am happy to be a part of it and that I was the artist selected to bring this beautiful vision to life. So I just want to say that and get back into what I was prepared to tell you about today. So the mural that I created was called Magnitude and Bond. It stands at over 110 feet and is the largest mural to date in Newark, celebrating the contributions of Black women to the city's art and cultural landscape. Since then, I've had the privilege to connect with amazing organizations such as Newark Arts, Project for Empty Space, and the Newark Public Library, and much more. It is truly an honor to be a part of this project. So my vision for the Museum Parc Mural Project is a visual sanctuary for viewers, a place where individuals can immerse themselves in a world of beauty, inspiration, and contemplation. The theme of the mural will feature the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water, each symbolizing a universal force that connects humanity. The color palette for the mural is inspired by the vibrant and beautiful spirit of Newark. It will be a harmonious blend of peaceful blues, warm yellows, and fiery reds, creating a sense of balance and serenity in the space. Interwoven throughout the mural will be intricate patterns inspired by nature, such as leaves, flowers, and geometric shapes. These patterns will appear to be stitched together like a patchwork quilt, showcasing how we are all a part of a larger tapestry of life. In many ways, this project is a full circle moment for me, a beautiful opportunity to give back to the community that has poured so much into me. Being a part of something so innovative and impactful feels both humbling and incredibly meaningful. It is my hope that this mural will inspire healing, connection, and unity among all who witness its beauty. Thank you.
We're almost there. Righteous only begins to describe the director of the Newark Museum of Art. She is bold, she is brilliant, she is visionary, she is inclusive, she is inspiring, she is stylish, and has utterly transformed the way the world views the Newark Museum of Art, as well as the relationship between the museum and this amazing community. She is the genius behind this project that we are here to celebrate today. Please welcome America's greatest museum director, Linda Harris.
This is some kind of day. I really anticipated this to be all about you. So thank you, Peter, for your leadership and guidance as chair of the Board of Trustees. And for Mayor Baraka for his inspiration and commitment to an arts district and a transformed, vibrant city. That he had progressive thinking about cultural districts, that they matter because of their multi-dimensional values. This was a driving force in my thinking, and it continues to be. A team that has been steadfast. Our project advisors, Aisha Glover from Audible, Tim Lazura from NJ Pac, and Omid Safe, formerly of Prudential, now of Liberty Mutual Investments. I want to thank them. I want to thank David Dishy, Jake Pine, Sam Chapin, Siri Morris, the LMXD team, and MCI Collective for agreeing to go on this cultural journey. It was also the investment group that you heard, Alicia Glenn from M Squared and Michael Milazzo of Merchants Bank, who made the financials work. They had to dig deep. And to Marilee Macon and Jason Chimura of KSS Architects for their great design, and particularly for their handling of our community town halls. We know that successful collaborations thrive because our legislators, as you heard, develop policies that support these growth initiatives. U.S. Congresswoman McIver saw the need for our vision when she was City Council President for her district in Newark citywide. And by the way, congratulations one more time, Madam Congresswoman. State Senator Ruiz relentlessly championed our value across the state of New Jersey, while Council President Crump, the City Council, the Deputy Mayor Allison Ladd, and Business Administrator Eric Pennington kept our dream alive through the halls of City Hall, and that is a major feat. And a thank you to all the players on my staff, including Martin Dowd of McCarter English and Ted Broomley. And finally, I want to thank the artist, Kelly Privard, for representing all of the artist community that tells our stories, and Victor, for all the members that you represent and all of our members who stayed the course with us over the years at the Newark Museum of Art, and our transformation to be a cultural hub that people could relate to. I want to give a special thanks to Arlene Lieberman, who passed away last week, one of our major donors, immersed in warmth and love or burdened by heartache and tragedy. Each day, we all start out the same. With every sunrise, we have a choice of how we're going to show up to be there for each other. Arlene Lieberman, a former chair of the board, major donor, and a righteous friend of the museum, is a woman that showed up for this museum and my vision. Many of you will remember her passionate championship of the arts in Newark, and like you, she saw the value of this great city and the museum and made strides really to guarantee its future. And I thank her for it. So today marks the groundbreaking of a milestone moment. We like to call it the first shovel of a milestone moment for the Newark Museum of Art. The project you are hearing about this afternoon has been a very deliberate and critical piece of our first 3-year strategic plan developed in my first 100 years here. 100 years. Okay, I'm gonna be here. Since 2019, when I came in 2019, and I really believe museums are not for the few, they are for the many, and this second century, we have two fundamental issues: to ensure stability of the museum while remaining open to all, and contribute in innovative ways to the future of a thriving, equitable Newark. But none of us can achieve big things alone. The support of our elected officials here today, our board, our members, and the Newark community has really made today possible, as you've heard. As part of the Museum Parc project, NOMA, we like to call ourselves NOMA, will be both present indoor and outdoor with our artistic programming that will enrich the residents' experience, the city, support thought-provoking and distinguished artists, and do the work we all really love to do, which is build community. Museum Parc is part of the museum's 4-phase campus transformation. The 4-part plan began with the restoration of the Valentine House, which we reopened in winter 2023. Phase 2 focuses on renovations to our Learning and Engagement Arts Center. This is in our South Wing, and this is why the South Wing is under construction now, because that began a few months ago. And Phase 3 is why we're here today: the groundbreaking and the building of Museum Parc. The Newark Museum of Art is proud to be the cornerstone of this Museum Parc project, where our community can literally and figuratively see its future. Museum Parc, with Museum Parc, we create a multi-use cultural anchor in the heart of Newark with intention, with expertise, and with empathy. We are committed to telling new and inclusive stories through art in our galleries and around our campus. The large-scale murals by Kelly Privard, alongside a newly installed art park for sculptures, will complete Phase 4 of the project. These new sculptures from acclaimed artists such as Yinka Shonwari, Holly Wilson, Carzola, and Salome will grace our redesigned outdoor spaces. The vision for the campus transformation is to confirm that accessible public art can have a positive social, cultural, and economic impact, opening up our campus to needed housing, retail, and the new spaces we talked about today with our pavilion and our gallery will invigorate and, we hope, strengthen Newark's downtown as a not-to-be-missed destination. Paul Robeson said, "Artists are the gatekeepers of truth," and I believe that. Museums too often removed from their communities, becoming the gatekeepers of other people's histories, but not here. 115 years ago, the Newark Museum of Art was founded on the belief that art is participatory and for everyone, a radical notion among museums at the time, and we will continue to unleash that radical thought. No one does bold things today. We are the largest fine arts institution in New Jersey, and we continue to be have the 12th largest collection in the United States. An esteemed world-class collection that everyone will have exposed to. And we really are leaders in representing artists from underrepresented cultures around the world and from New Jersey and right here from Newark. The first museum to exhibit artworks of living artists. We continue to push the boundaries of what a museum can do. But a diverse collection is truly not enough. Today is a giant step in meeting known as Mission, partnering with many of our friends in Newark who are here today to create a vitality-filled space where future generations can live, work, and play. Together, we have collaborated a project that will transform this 4.5-acre campus into a dynamic, walkable hub for culture and commerce. It's a bold vision for the future, and we're proud of it. And I know it's about time for me to close so you can have one of those little hot dogs that we have for you. We are happy that we are supporting the reimagination of what a museum can offer a community. Our mission is to welcome everyone with exclusive experiences that spark curiosity and foster community. And in closing, all the galleries are open and the Ballantyne House is open for your enjoyment today. And refreshments are being served, and you can now get up out of your chairs because you have been committed, and we thank you for it.
Should we on this side? Can I have you on this side, Mr. Morris, yeah?